Ahoy hoy Scrumpers. Welcome back, and welcome to an Elder Scrolls game. Now this video is perhaps the only Oblivion Remastered video that matters, and I shall explain why. So, last week this game was quote-unquote leaked. They say.
87 years ago.
Let's watch.
For 65 years, I've ruled as Tamriel's emperor. But for all these years, I've never been the ruler of my own dreams. I have seen the gates of oblivion, beyond which no waking eye may see. Behold, in darkness, a doom sweeps the land. This is the 27th of last seed, the year of Akatosh 433. These are the closing days of the Third Era, and the final hours of my life.
So, here we are. Now, I do like these background choices. So, character models do look better and such. Anyway, let me start again. I have been a long-time Bethesda fan. I am a Morrowind boomer. Morrowind was my first RPG, really, even though some games before it did have those mechanics that I enjoyed. I was never really an RPG aficionado, but Bethesda was my first one. Morrowind was my first one. So, why I'm no longer a fan of Bethesda games. Since Starfield. Now, when Starfield was announced and close to its release date, the PR campaign, the shill campaign, the hype movement really pushed that game. There was never-ending speculation. That's with a lot of games, but there was just something about the Starfield announcement that, if anyone else noticed, there were just a bunch of new channels completely dedicated to it. All the shills were coming out for it. Now, I didn't. However, I was cautiously optimistic. The reason being cautiously is because since Fallout 4 and the debacle of 76, I grew very suspicious of Bethesda. Now, Fallout 4 is quite good, but I haven't returned to it like I did almost every other Elder Scrolls game. There's no height slider either. I didn't return to it like I did every other Elder Scrolls game. even though it did have qualities. I didn't bother with 76 because I was not surprised that it was a mess. And Starfield came out, and it was frankly insulting. That was an insulting game. Now, I don't want to go too in-depth into Starfield. Most people have talked about those issues, and if you want to hear me talk about issues I have with Starfield, I will do. In fact, I wanted to leave a review on Steam, but I just gave up. And I just thought, I have put more effort into my review than Bethesda did Starfield. Now, why was I a long-time Bethesda fan? What is it that Bethesda do that nobody else does? Because there are Souls-like games that rip off Souls games. The very first, quote-unquote, clone games were clones of Doom games. There are lots of strategy games are having a revival now, and they're very much inspired by the old Command and Conquer games. Some games are trying to replicate Total War to middling success. For me, why the flaws of Bethesda didn't bother me despite some of their terrible business practices is because you could see a trajectory of growth and potential. Morrowind I loved, and then the jump from Morrowind to Oblivion was a significant step. And it was an interesting step. And then from Oblivion to Skyrim, and we all know what a absolute sensation Skyrim is. And I recognise all those flaws. Every criticism you have of those games, of Bethesda in general, I agreed with. But it didn't bother me because I loved the idea of potential they could take. That one day they would come out with a magnum opus. But now, in my opinion, Starfield was so bad, it was such a decline, and riddled with so many issues. I mean, that game is just meant to be a platform for paid mods, let's be honest. So they don't have to do the work. Because, oh my god, it's not even that many hair options, come on. I personally think this is not a good character creator, but anyway. Oh, hell yeah. Anyway. I'm a bit distracted. I think the character models look cartoony, the lighting is good. But I mean, that's just the Unreal 5 engine, isn't it, really? Every studio, every dev has to use it now. Well, so why am I here? Bearing in mind the terrible business practices of Bethesda and why we keep forgiving them. I didn't even hate their engine. People criticize their engine. Personally, I think it was their work ethic. I don't even know what that means. It was their work ethic. And they re-release and re-release their games with the same bugs. It's an interesting salt and pepper. Can't even adjust the eye. You can't even have different eyebrows. I personally think this character creator is basic. It just looks better than Oblivion. Even Starfield has a better character creator, quite frank. I understand this is a remaster, but again, everyone's singing it praises, and I find it to be a mixed bag. I've had several crashes, but that's just and I'm on a beast of a rig. And it's, again, I just can't help but feel insulted. So, this quote-unquote leak. Yeah, a leak. Now, I don't think it is a leak, because if you look at the history of Bethesda, for all their flaws, they get marketing quite right. They announce close to release, build up hype. Now, I think this quote leak, I think it was a deliberate release, because everyone over the weekend, from every shill, every hack, even people who tentatively criticize Bethesda, from Bethesda defenders to its critics, they jumped on that algorithm. They jumped on it and absolutely just played and discussed this game. And it's just like, oh, how much, like, don't get me wrong, it's a fairly good remaster as far as remasters go. I mean, it's not a full-on remake like the Resident Evil games, the overrated Resident Evil games. But it's fairly good, but it's still got glaring flaws, like the Unreal 5 engine. Unreal 5 engine, like, it's good at lighting. And the issue with it is, I think it's quite a difficult engine, and with the issues the industry has of equity bros and CEO shareholder management bonuses and having so much control and not at all caring about the games themselves. Should we go for? Ooh, that's quite cool. Yes, I quite like that. I love freckles. I like freckles. Equity has taken over. Unreal Engine 5 is sort of like ubiquitous. And all devs, like, devs get fired and released all the, like, so often now. I don't think I'll have any weird skin tone. That new developers are really struggling with it. Would you fucking close? Are struggling with it, and I think it's a difficult engine to get to grips with. Whatever, I'll just go with that. I don't really care that much. We're going for a stealth archer. Always stealth archer. Now, a lot of devs, what I was saying, a lot of devs are now new devs are having to get a grips with this, and it feels like we do this every sort of console or just sort of game generation where new devs have to quickly get accustomed to sort of new engines and new tools, and it's why it feels like just as when we're seeing interesting stuff, it's like there's a restart. And that's what they've done here. Now, that's a fairly good test bed, I think, to remaster an old game. I have no issues with that, but again, it's the implications as a whole. Now, as I said, back to the topic, I think this leak was fake, and I think ultimately what it's meant to do is build hype for the next Elder Scrolls, because that was announced, what, 6 years ago? And we've seen nothing, and it's not been in development for 6 years. It has not been in development. Barely even pre-alpha. Like, it's gonna be another, like, 3 years minimum. Obviously, I could be wrong, but this is to tide us over. And I think it's a fairly good way to tide us over, but like I said, just because it's a good way to tide us over doesn't mean we shouldn't be suspicious of Bethesda. You know what, I might just leave it here and begin playing. I'm going to call it Sneaky.
Well now, a pretty little wood elf. You're a little far from the forest, huh? Looks like your days of woodland frolicking have come to a tragic end. To go from the gladed realm of Valenwood to a rat-infested hole like this, how very sad. Those walls must feel like they're closing in on you. Pretty soon you'll...
Can we just look at this goofy Naruto run? A Naruto run. It looks ridiculous.
That's right. You're going to die in here, wood elf. Die. Hey, you hear that? The guards are coming. For you.
Boris, lock that door behind us.
Yes, sir. My sons. They're dead, aren't they?
We don't know that, sire. The messenger only said they were attacked.
No, they're dead. I know it.
What's this prisoner doing here? This cell is supposed to be off limits.
Usual mix-up with the watch.
Never mind. Get that gate open. Stand back, prisoner. We won't hesitate to kill you if you get in our way.
You, prisoner, stand aside. Over by the window. Stay out of the way and you won't get hurt.
No sign of pursuit, sir.
Stay put, prisoner.
Good. Let's go. We're not out of this yet.
You. I've seen you. Let me see your face. You are the one from my dreams. Then the stars were right. And this is the day. Gods give me strength.
What's going on?
Assassins attacked my sons, and I am next. My blades are leading me out of the city along a secret escape route. By chance, the entrance to that escape route leads through your cell.
What mind you?
Perhaps the gods have placed you here so that we may meet. As for what you have done, it does not matter. That is not what you will be remembered for. I am your emperor, Uriel Septim. By the grace of the gods, I serve Tamriel as her ruler. You are a citizen of Tamriel, and you too shall serve her in your own way. So do we all. But what path can be avoided whose end is fixed by the almighty gods?
Please, sire, we must keep moving. Better not close this one. There's no way to open it from the other side.
This doesn't concern you, prisoner.
Looks like this is your lucky day. Just stay out of our way.
Well, off we go. That's sneaky, sneaky. Don't be suspicious.
Close up left. Protect the Emperor.
The captain's
Protect
down.
yourself.
Tap him down!
For the Emperor! Are you all right? Hey, sire.
Captain Reno?
She's dead. Sorry, sire, but we have to keep moving. Stand aside, prisoner.
How could they be waiting for us here?
Don't know, but it's too late to go back now. Don't worry, sire. We will get you out of here.
They won't be the first to underestimate. The blades. I'll take point. Let's move.
You stay here, prisoner. Don't try to follow us.
Oh, well, excuse me. Ah! Yeah, this rat freaking... I'll get ingredients for alchemy. I think alchemy is actually surprisingly, considering the amount of features stripped in Skyrim, alchemy was actually a lot better, a lot more interesting. Rusty bow. I'm just going to auto attempt, I'm not going to fuss around. So, why do we keep giving Bethesda? Now, I'll say, you know, even I used to forgive them a lot. And to this day, I still speculate, like everyone else, on what the next game could be, what I'd like to see in the next game. And I would like to discuss it with other people. It is fun. Because I think that's the trick. We love Bethesda games for their sort of like potential. Because often there's, even though these mechanics often don't even work together, work well in their own games, the systems and the mechanics, nobody else does them. Or does them in such a way where they're all sort of working together or not working together, as is often the case. And it's all very familiar. I don't misunderstand. I'm glad I mean, this game's almost 20 years old now. I'm glad a whole new generation of people are enjoying this. But it's got a lot of the same issue. Like, I've had several crashes, specifically in the arena, using the well and returning from the arena using the well specifically. Archery was quite good in... I mean, that's the only build that matters, isn't it? The stealth archer. Oh my god. Yeah, I can't be bothered with the... lettuce. Fancy stuff. Fancy, he says. So it's the question, you know, why do we forgive Bethesda what we hope to see in the next game? And I think that's where Bethesda gets you. It's the potential and it gets you speculating. And I'm not immune to that. I do that too. Ooh, barrel. And if any of you want to see something specific in the next Bethesda game, I am all too happy to hear it. But we should just be aware of the constant jank. Frankly, just the lies. And be alert, be absolutely alert to the grifters. Because they're the ones that seem like they're critical, but still really carry water, as the saying goes. Ooh, yeah. Cheese? Oh, hell yeah. You cannot abandon the cheese. And it's strange, they've kept some bugs in this. I know it's, you know, for the memes. Oh dear. Actually, what are the character? Hmm. Sneaky, sneaky. I think everyone should learn lockpicking, to be quite frank. Played this so many times, I just remember most things. Oh dear. Ew. Rat meat. It's a rat burger. You know, I'll just leave them to it. No need to disturb them. Oh, excuse me. Saw me right quick. Yeah. That'd be great if it caught fire. No, I don't care about that. Sneaky, sneaky. Sorry. I am engrossed by the gameplay. Oh, you know what really irked me about Starfield was the quote early access. Just sort of like that trick. It's not early access, that is just the release date. Everyone else just gets it later. And of course, appealing to, you know, FOMO. Building that hype and everyone getting it. And then front loading all the mechanics to make it feel like it's good. But after the, you know, first couple of days, everyone started to see the flaws of Starfield.
We need to get the Emperor out of here. This one's mine. For the blades and the Emperor!
Damn it, it's that prisoner again. Kill her. She might be working with the assassins.
No, she is not one of them. She can help us. She must help us.
Ooh, thank you.
As you wish, sire.
Come closer. I'd prefer not to have to shout. They cannot understand why I trust you.
The clothes look really
They've
good.
not seen what I've seen. How can I explain? Listen, you know the... I've served the Nine all my days, and I chart my course by the cycles of the heavens. The skies are marked with numberless sparks, each a fire, and every one a sign. I know these stars well, and I wonder which sign marked your birth.
So I guess, I mean, the thief seems obvious. Although, just once per day, it doesn't really seem worth it. Shadow the thief, there we go. There we go. Yeah, just simple and straightforward. The snack. Yeah, thief seems the way to go.
The signs I read show the end of my path. My death, a necessary end, will come when it will come. Your stars are not mine. Today the thief shall guide your steps on the road to destiny. My dreams grant me no opinions of success. Their compass ventures not beyond the doors of death. But in your face I behold the sun's companion. The dawn of Akatosh's bright glory may banish the coming darkness. With such hope, and with the promise of your aid, my heart must be satisfied. No trophies of my triumphs precede me, but I have lived well, and my ghost shall rest easy. Men are but flesh and blood. They know their doom, but not the hour. In this, I am blessed to see the hour of my death, to face my apportioned fate, then fall. I go to my grave. A tongue shriller than all the music calls me. You shall follow me yet for a while. Then we must part.
What's worth mentioning as well, if you dare criticize...
You may as well make yourself useful. Here, carry this torch and stick close. We're the Emperor's bodyguards. Our job is to get him out of situations like this. Although I admit, things are not going according to plan. My job is to make sure the Emperor gets out of here alive, and I intend to do it.
I still think like the characters themselves look cartoony and silly, and I know the line is that's what they're going for. But I don't think it's... I think this is an Unreal Engine thing.
Stick close and let us do our job, and you'll be all right.
I snack. I am snacking.
You thought we'd go down the... The Emperor's in danger! You thought we'd go down easy? The Emperor's in danger!
Nara's mercy on you.
Ha!
Oh, I'm completely out of stamina. Oh, die! Shoot you in the bum. Right then. We go. Oh.
Hold up. I don't like this. Let me take a look. Looks clear.
I'd like to see
We're almost
Jiggalag
through
make a
to the
return
sewers.
in the next Elder Scrolls. I'm so hypocritical. Like I say, I'm so annoyed with Bethesda and, you know, the terrible business practices like the horse armor. I mean, it was.
The gate is barred from the
I mean,
other
it seems
side.
so quaint now.
What about that side passage back there?
Worth a try. Let's go.
It's a dead end. What's your call, sir?
They're behind us. Wait here, sire.
Wait here with the Emperor. Guard him with your life. For the Emperor! For
Watch your
the
back,
Emperor!
Boris. You're gonna take me down. Die, you scum!
I can go no further. You alone must stand against the Prince of Destruction and his mortal servants. He must not have the Amulet of Kings. Take the amulet, give it to Joffrey. He alone knows where to find my last son. Find him and close shut the jaws of Oblivion.
Stranger, you chose a bad day to take up with the calls of
Oblivion take you! No. Talos, save us. We failed. I failed. The Blades are sworn to protect the Emperor. Now he and all his... The amulet. Where's the Amulet of Kings? It wasn't on the Emperor's body. Strange. He saw something in you. Trusted you. They say it's the dragon blood that flows through the veins of every septim. They see more than lesser men. The Amulet of Kings is a sacred symbol of the Empire. Most people think of the red dragon crown, but that's just jewelry. The amulet has power. Only a true heir of the blood can wear it, they say. He must have given it to you for a reason. Did he say why? Joffrey? He said that? Why? Nothing I ever heard about, but Joffrey would be the one to know. He's the Grand Master of my order. Although you may not think so to meet him, he lives quietly as a monk at Waynon Priory, near the city of Coral. First, you need to get out of here. Through that door must be the entrance to the sewers, past the locked gate. That's where we were heading. It's a secret way out of the Imperial City. Or it was supposed to be secret. Here, you'll need this key for the last door into the sewers. There are rats and goblins down there. But from what I've seen of you, I'm guessing you're an experienced agent. Am I right?
Ooh, an agent. What can an agent do? Acrobatics, illusion, maximum security, sneak, speech, crap. I mean, I'm more just like an assassin, I think.
I wasn't far off. In any case, rats and... You must get the amulet to Joffrey. Take... Good. The Emperor's trust was well placed. I'll stay here to guard the Emperor's body. By the way, thanks for recovering Captain Renault's sword. I'll see that it is given a place of honor in the halls of the Blades.
Well, off we go. Something I want to say, you know, if you remotely criticize a Bethesda game, and I saw it with this one, the way the fanboys will just, the things they say to you, the petty insults, it's really embarrassing and sad. I can't imagine anyone, I can't imagine myself, no self-respecting person, just having so much love, you know, or your self-worth tied up with just a game. Like, I still enjoyed the games, even though I saw their flaws and other people pointed those flaws out. And I didn't blame anyone for not liking a Bethesda game. It's perfectly understandable. And since Starfield, I retroactively, or retrospectively, whatever the saying is, looked back at my, you know, previous experience and couldn't help but see the trajectory Bethesda was on. You know, I hoped it wouldn't be the case, but it was. You know, what are they going to do with Elder Scrolls 6? If we ever see it. And the thing is, Starfield, they've more or less abandoned that game. That is abandonware. You know what, I'll save here. Now, here's what I think is worth remembering. Beware the hype, because there is going to be more of it. Especially, just you watch the announcement of Elder Scrolls 6. Well, not the announcement, but the release announcement. I suspect, again, they'll announce it, and it'll be, you know, a week before it comes out, and that will really build the hype train. Because most companies, they'll announce, you know, the development, and they'll release snippets over a few months. But Bethesda are quite good at announcing and then just releasing like a week later. And that will get, just beware all the speculation, all the streamers. You think it doesn't affect you, but it does. And it affects me. I mean, I purchased this game, you know, in order to talk about it. Fortunately, I had the money. And here's the thing, it's an enjoyable game. It's still got silly flaws and bugs. Unsurprising. You know, and why do we keep forgiving Bethesda? That's the thing, because to me, it was tied up with that, you know, that potential, or the trajectory of the potential. But to me, it's not been realised. Starfield could have realised it, but that game, for every quality there is, it's undercut. There's a flaw that drags the quality down, or it's like it's made by the devil. It's such a monkey's paw game. But anyway, what does Bethesda do that other games don't do? Even games that try to be the same sort of open world, sort of do whatever you want, go wherever you want game. Because there are games that have tried it, but they're never quite right. They don't quite capture that magic. And that's just my opinion. Just as I found the whole Starfield build-up incredibly sus, I find this remaster quite sus. Seriously, I do. And I just want all of you out there to be aware. It's as simple as that. Just be really skeptical. And please let me know what you think. Excelsior.